Hey everyone, it's Laura Myers for CMS-Connected, and I'm joined by Marcus Jones, the Head of Digital Governance at Mazda Motor Corporation. Thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
So you have a very lengthy experience in the automotive industry, so I'm wondering if you could speak about the digital transformation and sort of what you guys are up to. You'd mentioned personalization earlier as well. So.
Yes, very much so. What we understand from a consumer perspective is that we can't create a one-size-fits-all for our user base. We need to make sure that it's relevant and it's something that makes sense in relation to the user journey online that they have experienced themselves.
Yeah.
And from that perspective is that we're very interested in our existing and future relationship with Episerver that allows us to tailor the types of content that we're serving within all of our global websites for the users and the customers that use that content. And it allows us to assess if that's hitting the mark.
Yeah.
Within the purchase consideration cycle, you might have somebody that's just interested, they're not ready to kind of go into their showroom environment, but we can still serve them content that's relevant for their needs. And so for that perspective, it's very different to somebody who is almost at that test drive phase and understanding that we can set the criteria in relation to defining the different visitor groups and personalize the content means that we've then got a greater opportunity to achieve success in helping them to achieve what's fundamentally their final goal of hopefully getting behind the wheel of a car and enjoying that experience and then going through to become an owner.
Yeah, and along the lines of your digital strategy, how is it that Episerver supports that for you?
The ongoing communication that we have with Episerver is great because it allows us to understand that the products and services that they provide us as a business is fit for purpose.
Yeah.
And it has to be relevant to us, and so we are always impressed about the information and the content that is shared in the discussions that we have with Episerver, but we target the specific products that we've already got cover for that allow us to have low-hanging pieces of fruit that result in quick wins.
Yeah.
What we're conscious of is having too many long-winded conversations that will never come to fruition within the next 3 to 6 months. And the beauty of what we're talking about, especially at the moment as part of the Ascend conference here in Las Vegas, is that we can implement things really quickly, really efficiently across different regions across the world that mean that we can pretty much at the flick of a switch start to change things. And then carry on the conversation between Mazda and Episerver to the extent where we can say, did that work? Shall we try something different? And actually maximize the potential in that way. Yeah,
and you had mentioned earlier the event has kind of been a bit of a turning point in terms of some future plans you have for your digital plan, so go into that a little bit.
Yes, I mean, I think what we've understood is that we've limited ourselves in terms of scratching the surface. And the opportunity in coming to these sorts of conferences is that we can spend one-to-one sessions with the relevant people within, within product and so on within Episerver that allows us to understand exactly what else we should be doing. Now that fits in with our digital strategy as a business because effectively we want to achieve best in class. And so that objective allows us to talk to Episerver in the same way we are this week, to make sure that they're actually saying, well, these are the products that you should be focusing on to achieve that. If Episerver doesn't understand what Mazda stands for and what Mazda's business objectives are, they can't suggest to us. So it's very much about key communication, a two-way flow of dialogue that will result in them recommending and proposing solutions that will be fit for purpose and will make sure that we're not taking a leap of faith, but this is something that has got structure and it's been thought out.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, thanks so much for sitting down with us today.
No problem, anytime.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.